I don't normally do UAP. Now, I've done a video. Someone wondered who I was talking to. I don't normally do UAP videos, but that was because things used to be so unclear. Now it's coming to an end game, and it's either real or a psy-op. There's nothing else it could possibly be, because it's got to the very top of the United States, intelligence, the president, the spokespeople, Congress, everything. So it can't be anything other than a complete lie or the truth. It can't be something like, oh, well, we're just mistaken, because they've got people who are working on the crash retrievals who are the people who have to know about what they're working on. So it's either a complete lie or it's true. I think it's true. I already thought it was true before all this came out, because of the pattern in the data. The way that hundreds of witnesses could be at a scene and they all say the same thing, and then just the authorities who come, and that's the only ones who are saying something's different, that nothing happened here, threaten them, etc., etc., and then they just clear off, and their arms, so the witnesses can't do anything. And 100% of witnesses in multiple different cases, and also them same witnesses say, like sometimes about how craft moves, stationary, and zip, back and moves backwards and forwards. Anyway, but we're beyond all that now, and now we're at the point of where we're going to get actual disclosure from those who used to cover it up. Now, here's why it's real or a psy-op. I've got about 10-ish reasons here. So in other words, every reason I give here, you have to think in your head, for it to be a psy-op, this person must be part of it. That's what I'm meaning. So first, for it to be a psy-op, one, the current day intelligence community inspector general would have to be in on it. He's about to commit perjury under oath if he's in on it, if there is a psy-op. He's carried out an investigation into Grush's claims. As a psy-op, that's also, Grush is also a psy-op, so he's also in on it. And discovered the same as Grush discovered concerning the crash retrieval reverse engineered program. At least he's discovered this reverse engineered crash retrieval non-human intelligence program, unless all that's part of the psy-op, which I doubt. But anyway, especially when you have all the other things I'm going to say into it. So two, just connected with that, Grush has already done all that. And he's got the highest security clearances possible in the United States, high enough to brief the president on classified information. But if it's a psy-op, this guy who's got the highest security clearances to brief the president is also now part of the psy-op. 3, Director of National Intelligence John Ratcliffe, who backs all of this stuff up, he's also got to be in on it. 4, people who have worked firsthand on the so-called crash retrieval reverse engineering program are also in on it, and they're about to commit perjury by testifying under oath. I don't think it's a psy-op because of all this, but I think that, power gets people selfish, greedy, and it works to produce an unequal society. But this is too much. This is off the scale. So no way do I go this far on being against power or whatever. This is mental illness. This is craziness. This is insane. If it was 5th reason, the former intelligence community inspector general also has to be on it, because he's representing Grush, the whistleblower. So we're only halfway through my reasons here. 6, the White House intelligence spokesman for the president has also got to be on it. He uses the word phenomenon, supports the legislation that speaks of confiscating UAP, etc. Yep, He says it's really serious. He doesn't think it's a psy-op, or he does, but he's pretending he doesn't because he's part of the psy-op. 7, well, these people would be getting fooled. So this is a slight diversion. The Open World Congress people have always been kept in the dark, I think, of the UAP reality. But if it's actually a psy-op, then what's happening now is they're all being fooled. Because they're making videos now saying they're on side on the UAP issue. And these politicians are now part of the psy-op by accident. Because there's a bipartisan, we keep hearing, all for it. There's no politicians against it in Congress. So they're like inadvertently part of the psy-op now. I mean, there's many politicians, not just a handful, who are all for this, and none who are coming out against it. And all the legislation's going through. It's equivalent of going through Parliament, going through Congress. They're not saying, "Oh, I'm not going to vote for that because it's got UFOs in it." No, they're voting for it. So they're now, if it's a psy-op, they've fell for it. So they're now part of the psy-op because they're the ones now pushing to really get the cover-up uncovered, as one of the politicians put it. Birchett, his name. 8. Someone who used to work in the Defence Department, Chris Mellon, close to the Defence Secretary at the time, says he's seen a video that is as good as quality as anything you can imagine. Therefore, much better than the quality of this video because the visual's bad. And when it's shown to Congress, would make them even more certain than they already are that this is not human. That's what he says, because it moves like, like UFOs are supposed to move, stationary, zip forwards, zip backwards, whatever, that kind of thing. One of Elizondo's 5 observables. 9. Nimitz fighter jets pilots. Well, what's this side? If this is part of the psy-op, then it's ingenious because it's involving UFOs. They frequently observed stationary tic-tacs in the air that would, stationary and zip backwards and zip forwards, and in a blink of an eye would shoot up to 80,000 feet and just above the water sea level. And is that part of the psy-op too? Well, it's been used as it because these people were sat next to Grush at the hearings last week, and they were reinforcing each other. So they're part of the psy-op as well. If there's a psy-op, well, I don't think this is. It's too genius. 10. All kinds of intelligence figures who haven't gone public, but who brief the likes of reporters that it's non-human intelligence, and they've got to get reporting on it. And because it's real, there's crash retrieval, there's reverse engineering, they talk about the shapes of the craft, they talk about all kinds of things to do with how many craft or whatever that there is in possession in the US. They talk about history. Now, they're in on it because if it's a psy-op, because they're trying to get it put into the mainstream. So my conclusion is, and when you take into account all the history before all of this as well, then you could probably come up with 100 reasons why. But this is keeping the psy-op for now, for the last few years, is best thing to do, because if you take into account the entire history, then it starts to confuse matters, because it's almost like UFO issue is like pre the 2017, December 2017 New York Times article, and after that 2017 article snowballed all of this. Now, I think it's I can't believe it's a psy-op. I just do. If it's a psy-op, then it's as astonishing as the actual real UFO phenomenon is supposed to be anyway. But I don't think it's a psy-op, because I find that hard to believe. Harder to believe than the actual reverse engineered crash retrieval stuff. So, and I'm blooming suspicious of the state, and I can't buy that. So, and also, if it was a psy-op, it would mean we're going to get a fake disclosure. I can't believe that. It's just off the scale. My view is it's all real, and I think it's all real versus psy-op. I think it's all real is the common sense position. Now, the Manhattan Project, which was about the atomic bomb, that was kept secret, and that ended up being dropped on cities and killing. I don't know what the figure is, how many people died from that, but a lot. And that was kept secret until the day it hit the Japanese public in their cities. And it was compartmentalized. So a lot of people who worked on the atomic bomb were unaware that they were working on the atomic, unaware of what they were working on at all. And it's said that with the UFO issue, the crash retrievals, that a lot of people don't know what they're working on, and a lot of people do know what they're working on. That was what it was with the atomic bomb as well. Some knew, some didn't know. Yeah. So every day there's something that comes up on this issue that interests me, and today's, for me, I mean, it's subjective this, but it's the Republican politician Luna. She's just one of many politicians who's now into this. And I was for disclosure. The buzzword now going around the open world of Congress is subpoena, meaning we're going to force people to testify at the next hearing, probably in September, who have worked on the crash retrieval reverse engineering program. Anyways, what Anna Paulina Luna has just said, and it's been published in British news media, we are requesting the Inspector General report that Grush was testifying to in the hearing. That's going to be pretty important because that contains a lot of bombshell information from what we're gathering. We are actually trying to get a select committee under oversight so that we can do the subpoenaing. I want to see names, documentation, images, and footage, according to what Grush says and what I have seen that exists. So let's try to declassify it. So she's wanting to subpoena witnesses. She's wanting the hearing to go ahead. She's wanting it all to come out in the open. She's wanting the video that Chris Mellon has seen that is clear as day and would convince everyone, any remaining doubters, that this is not human, or unless it was on the future. She's wanting it all out. And you know, they're accusing, basically, they're just accusing it of a complete and utter cover-up from day one. They're going to try and punish the people who kept it as a cover-up. And there's lot, and Luna talks of punitive actions for those that try to harm, intimidate, or to discredit whistleblowers that are coming forward with information that is pertinent to national security and the national government. People will be stripped of their salary to participate in the cover-up. You see, the talk like now, it's just a given that it's real. The legislation talks like it's just a given that it's real. They know that it's real. We've seen the names, we've seen the locations. We know. That's why we're letting this go ahead. So it's gone from being debated to being said, look, we know it's real because we checked it out. We've checked it out. We know it's real. We're the people who have to know. We do know. So it's no longer talked upon as whether it's real or not. It's more like it's gone to a case of now we have to be providing the proof to the people in these hearings and so on. So, like I said, it's become because it's like gone in that direction. It's now either a psy-op or it's real. I think that the people who are going to say it's a psy-op be extremely conspiratorial. I know the irony of that. I'm not pretending I don't know the irony of that. But they're going to have to deny it all after it's, you know, you have to be thinking like authorities aren't just greedy, selfish, national. It's the very top of US intelligence, it's the Inspector General, Chris Mellon types and intelligence, all of that kind of stuff. So, like, that's why I've done this video, because it's got cleared up in my head now that it's now either crystal clear, real or psy-op, no other options. Classic.